Hi, Empaths. Hope everybody is doing fantastically on your empath journey. These are your encouragement tips. They are designed to support the collective of empaths, energy sensitives, star seeds, way showers, light workers, anybody out there doing your best to align with the divine and the universe in a lovely, pristine way on behalf of, the collective, the human collective, serving the highest good of all. Welcome. Nice to be with you energetically, electronically. And these are your tips for December 19th through Saturday, December 25th, which is Christmas Day. For those of you celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. For those of you celebrating the Christ consciousness, which is a universal concept that existed even before Yeshua walked the earth, the Christ consciousness. And Yeshua, whether you recognize Jesus as the Son of God or a way shower or a teacher, such as the Buddha, he definitely exemplified the Christ consciousness, and that is why he was called the Christ. But enough about that. This is not a religious lesson. These are your encouragement tips. I hope everybody's doing, really great. This week, we will be celebrating, some of us will be celebrating Christmas, and there's all kinds of different traditions associated with Christmas. And so for those of you that do celebrate the holidays or specifically Christmas, may you have just a most peaceful, meaningful Christmas holiday with friends and loved ones, pets, whatever it is that you do that honors you and your traditions and your values and your beliefs. And for those that are not celebrating, may you just enjoy a time of peaceful, reflection, stillness, and winter wonderment. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, we are getting ready to go into winter soon. And so may this just be a beautiful time for you to heal and reset and recode and recalibrate and just give yourself whatever you need. So these tips are, they're about base operations. And so what is base? It's your center. It's your center point. It's the source of your truth. And it's where you establish all of what we call, or what I call, your mission agreements, those agreements and assignments that you get from, the director, creation, the universe, God, the divine. Base is where you go to get clarification about your assignments. Where do I go now? Where do I share my light now? What people, what community, what neighborhood would serve the highest good by me sharing my command codes? My structure, my intentions, my lessons, the lessons I've been taught, and the seeds that have been embedded within me to share with humanity. Where do I go? Who do I talk to? What's my next mission assignment? So we go to base to get our command codes, and those are activated from the divine universe, right? So these tips, I have 5 tips. And these are all about base operations, returning to base, getting your assignments that your soul has agreed upon directly from the source, base. So tip number 1, never forget to be there for yourself. And this is a quote from international championship tennis star Serena Williams. I love it. Never forget to be there for yourself. And this quote actually speaks up for yourself, or it speaks for itself. It speaks to you showing up for you, honoring you, loving you, all that you as an empath give to others, all of the energy, time, resources, love, light that you share with the human collective, please don't forget to pour that right back into yourself. You matter. You are special. And you have to take care of you. There's only one you. You are so unique and your hue is so beautiful. You shine bright. Please take care of yourselves. Please be there for yourselves. Please honor yourselves. I was talking to a client earlier today about when we climb we've got hills and valleys in life, and when we climb the mountain and we've achieved a goal, whether it's a spiritual goal or a physical, tangible goal, sometimes it's a good idea to stay at the tip of that mountain, stay up there for a little bit, smell the roses, be in gratitude, notice how far you've come, and celebrate where you are now compared to where you were. You were down there and now you're up here, and when you have a pure heart structure, sitting back to smell the roses and celebrate your accomplishments, your those things that you did that were hard and you hung in there with love and light, and here you are to celebrate and just honor that victory that's been given to you. This is your reward. Stay up there for a little bit, celebrate it, be true to you, honor all that you are and all that you're becoming, because you choose to show up as a light worker, as an empath, as a star seed who's aligned with the truth of who you are. Celebrate that. Okay, tip number 2, be self-referring. So as an empath, part of your self-mastery is learning to go within and find your orders from within. So that's returning back to base. Let's learn to release the guru mentality. No offense or disrespect to gurus and teachers. We certainly need them from time to time, for sure, right? But you are intuitive, dear empath. You have natural gifts embedded inside of you, preceded inside of your consciousness for such a time as this, so that when you would awaken, you would be able to draw from what's already within you. It doesn't mean you're all knowing, although many of us empaths do tend to be naturally psychic and intuitive. You're not all knowing, but you do know that the answers are within, because you have a direct, clear connection, a clear channel to the source, to creation, to the divine, to God, okay, to your ancestors. You know that whatever you need is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and all you have to do is ask. Remember, empaths ask the right questions, those questions that move the divine, that cause the divine to turn its metaphorical face towards you. Ask the right questions. Go within. Get your commands from base. Be self-referring. Of course, like I said, you can get advice from other people. You can learn from other people. You can integrate new concepts and different perspectives. Of course, that's part of the human experience as well. But learning to go within first and get your orders from within is really beautiful. It keeps you out of cognitive dissonance. It grounds and anchors your energy, and it strengthens your brain, to be honest with you. When your brain knows that you have an attitude of, I got this, one way or another, I'm going to get through this, one way or another, there are solutions to problems, and I will go within, I will get my commands from base, I will know exactly what I'm supposed to do, and all will be well. When you have that energy, your brain toes the line. It gets in check. It's like, okay, yeah, we got this. So be self-referent. We're having a very beautiful rainstorm today. It's beautiful. We need the rain. I'm so grateful for it. But all my patio furniture is just, I don't know even where it is. It's like disappeared. And I had it tied down. Okay, I digress. Anyway, thank you for the rain. So tip number 3, be intentional. All right. So I love this. practice intentional living, empaths. This is a beautiful way. When you practice intentional living, this is you going back to base and, really calibrating to what your unique command codes are. So what do I mean by intentional living? Intentional eating, intentional fitness, intentional shopping, intentional socialization with friends, intentional social media time, for sure, intentional experiences in your community. Where are you putting your energy? Think about that. Be intentional about where you invest your energy. So when it comes to food, what are you eating? Does your body actually want this? Is this serving the highest good? Is this going to nourish your body? For example, you can have a piece of pizza or you could eat a salad. That's just an example. And there's nothing wrong with eating the pizza. It's just, is that what your body wants? Are you connected enough with your cells and your organs and your higher self to know, are you going to benefit more from eating the slice of pizza or eating the salad, right? So learning to be intentional with your shopping, your spending, who you invest your time with, where you go. Like, just because you're invited to a party doesn't necessarily mean it serves your highest good to go. So being intentional about everything, really going within, connecting to base, getting your order. Should I get this? Should I eat this? Should I shop, buy this? Is that a good purchase for me? Is that a good investment? And let's talk about social media. Are we logging on to our social media accounts because we're bored, because we want attention, because we are looking for some drama, because there's plenty of it there? Or are we using our social media platforms to uplift the collective, to encourage, to shed light, to help the collective integrate ideas of, well-being and better living? And there's no judgment. Of course, we get to use our social media however we want. But as empaths, where we are investing our energy speaks volumes to where we are vibrationally, and our frequency and our service work is impacted by how intentional we are. So learning to not only have good intentions for the collective that we're serving, but also living intentionally with every single thing. And so listen to your body, listen to your heart, listen to your soul, check in with your subtle bodies. And for those of you that aren't familiar with subtle bodies, there are several subtle bodies, and different schools of thought have different ideas about what they are, what their function is, and what their names are. You'll find that there's different names for different subtle bodies. In my clinical work and my spiritual work, I focus on 5 of those subtle bodies. And what I'm comfortable calling them are the physical body, the energetic or the etheric, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body. So I look at the subtle bodies as like layers. Okay, so the physical is our densest form. It's what you can see us, you can feel us, you can touch us. But then as you go out, like the layers of an onion, each layer, as thin as it is, it's still part of the onion, right? The thinner it is, you're still eating onion, no matter how thin that layer is. And so this is our vessel, this is our body, this is our temple. The physical is the densest part. And then from there, you have your etheric, your energetic. And that's the part, it's an invisible layer, but it's a part that often takes the most hits. The energy of a thing can often be absorbed in our energy field before we experience it physically, such as sickness or heartache or pain or whatever it is. Then there's your emotional body or your emotional layer there, which is the emotions. There's the mental body, which is your intellect and the way you conceptualize things, your ideas, your worldview, the way you can, conceptualize what is right, what is wrong. Mental body. And then there's your spirit body. And this is where your spiritual beliefs exist, as well as your spirit that is connected to base. And so for me, intentional living means that all of those are aligned with the command codes that are part of my current assignment. I want to make sure that the physical body is aligned with those command codes, and the energy body is aligned, and the emotional and the mental and the spiritual are all aligned, that they're flowing, that they make sense. And so when the subtle bodies are aligned with your orders from base, they act as a compass, because your subtle bodies will help you navigate whether or not you are living intentionally or whether you're off. So when you make a choice, let's say, am I going to eat the pizza or am I going to eat the salad? Or am I going to go to that party, this Christmas party, or am I going to go to that? Or am I going to celebrate or am I not going to celebrate? Am I going to wear this or am I going to wear that? Am I going to buy that incredible chic coat that I saw, or am I going to save money? So when you are making whatever choices, you want to be intentional by asking, does this choice support, protect, nourish, honor, and demonstrate love for this particular aspect of my being? So if it's food, does this support, does this nourish, does this protect, does this honor, does this demonstrate love for my physical being? Okay. And if it's like hanging out with friends, socializing, or time on social media, does this protect, nourish, honor? Does it demonstrate love for my energy field, for my energetic aspect, for this layer of my consciousness? Okay. Emotions, you could look at the songs that you like to listen to or dance to, the movies that you go to, the people you hang out with, the relationships that you tolerate or don't tolerate. Do they support? Do they honor? Do they respect your emotional body? Are they nourishing you, or are they tearing you down? Are they drama-based situations, circumstances, things, people that are causing you to feel heavy? Okay. And then there's the mental and there's the spiritual. Asking yourself, being intentional, using the subtle bodies as your compass to navigate this journey supports you being, number one, self-referent. It goes back to being self-referent. I go within, I get my command codes directly from base. Number two, using the subtle bodies as a compass and being intentional supports self-regulation. Self-regulation is when you're grounded, you're anchored, you're able to clear energy that's heavy and ground quickly. And then self-reclamation. And self-reclamation is when you reclaim all of your parts, all of those parts that were scattered, that were just out there, before you knew who you were, before you were learning what it is to be an empath that's living with intention, keeping your vibration high, releasing what no longer serves. These things can be reclaimed, all your parts, all the pieces of you that were disconnected or lost in previous toxic relationships, or, poor choices, things you did when you were outside of the protection of your base operations. Okay. Now that you are part of the team, now that you know who you are, now that you're learning, now that you're integrating, you are able to reclaim back to yourself all those things that are in love and pure light and aligned with your unique signature, energy signature. So reclamation is a reclaiming of your sovereignty, your dignity, your respect. In our humanness, our journey includes adventure in ego. And ego is not necessarily a bad thing. Ego is the part of us that gets things done, accomplishes things, sets a goal and makes sure that it happens, pursues things that you believe in. Ego is the part of us that gets that done. It serves the soul well when it's in its proper context and it's in its proper place. It serves our brain as well, very well, when it recognizes that it's a follower and it's an implementer of goals. Its job is to get things done. It's supposed to say, okay, boss, I see that's what you want. That's where you want to go. That's what you want to buy. That's how you want to live. That's how you want to be. That's how you want to show up as a light worker, as an empath. I'm on it. Gotcha. I'm going to make sure that happens. Okay, that's ego's responsibility. When ego runs amok and it begins to do its own thing, that's where we get into trouble, okay? Because we can have an ego encapsulated mindset that is just very narcissistic and full of ourselves, but we can also have extremely low self-esteem and a low self-concept. So whether it sits in the lower mind or whether it sits in the higher mind, lower mind being those low vibrations, low actions, behaviors, thought patterns, toxic cycles, or whether it sits in higher mind, supporting the purpose of the soul, honoring the base operation command codes and implementing in alignment with divine flow. Whether you sit in lower mind or whether you sit in higher mind determines whether you are able to reclaim all that is your birthright. So it's important to recognize where you are, empath, on your journey, and when it's time to scale back. Okay. Scaling back is, let's go back to base. I've been spending a little bit too much time on social media, or I've been hanging out with the wrong people, or I've been engaging in practices, numbing practices, but they're not helping me. I need to scale back from eating the potato chips and the ice cream and the cake, and I need to come back to base and, introduce some fruits and some vegetables and some water and some walking and some hiking and some dancing and some jumping jacks, or, whatever it is. Scale back. Scaling back helps you return to base and go back and get those commands. What are your unique commands? And they'll be different from someone next to you. What are those commands that you need right now in any given situation? Go back to base, return to base. And this is going to help you know when to, like I said, pull away from social media. Noticing also when your posts on social media are heart-centered versus for attention. Okay. Scaling back and going back to base and reclaiming all that you truly are is self-mastery, because it helps you recognize when lower mind is at play. You don't really know when lower mind is at play if you're not reclaiming your sovereignty and going back to base frequently to get your orders. Ego can creep up very quickly and take over, if you don't check it, quite frankly. Now, when you recognize, oh, okay, I've been an ego. I have been seeking attention. I've been investing in situations that weren't appropriate, or I haven't been living intentionally. I've just kind of been living haphazardly, and I'm allowing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't do anymore. They're not helpful. They're not aligned. They're not serving the highest good. When you notice this, dear empath, without judging yourself, just return to base with grace, with kindness, with love. Return to the source of your truth. Okay? So important that we not beat ourselves up. There's a lot of that goes on in the world. And you can live a pure path with a pure heart structure. You can be intentional without having to grovel just because you missed the mark, or you lost perspective, or you lost your way. Just come back. Clear the energy. I'm going to be talking about that. Clear the energy. Release quickly and ground. Anchor back in what you know to be true. Go back to base. And so part of reclamation is recognizing I am divine. You are divine, dear empath. I have all that I need now, and all that I ever need will be, provided. I am always supported, and I am therefore complete. Everything that I need to accomplish my soul missions is always given to me at the exact timing that I need it, in a very beautiful divine way. I am enough. I am divine. You are enough. You are divine. And you will always be supported by the divine universe when you are being intentional and you are approaching your mission and your life worth with a pure heart structure. So everything that you need is already available. Go within, find the answers that you need, find your value by going back to base. Go back to base whenever necessary for you to remember who you are. Remember who you are and reclaim your sovereignty so that you remember that you don't have to play small with your life and you don't have to cave to that lower mind, the lower aspect of us, ego, when it's behaving badly. You don't have to cave to that. When you notice, oh, I got off track, I've been doing this, I've been looking for attention in the wrong places, I haven't been doing what serves the highest good, with grace and kindness, just return back to base. Reclaim your sovereignty. So also, one other thing, remember that the ego mind serves as a tool to help us locate where we are. So it's in and of itself, when we've been playing small or we've been, on the wrong side of the track, so to speak, with ego, just notice, but without being hard on yourself. Because the ego, when we are actually in the ego encapsulated mind, it really is an amazing tool for helping us reset and get back on track. The ego gives us opportunities to play games in the 3D world. Games that we wouldn't necessarily play in the upper world, in the 5D and beyond. So in this 3D world where it's a mixed bag of energy and there's everything is available, the good, the bad, the ugly, sometimes our ego likes to tip its toe in waters that it shouldn't be in. And we like to play sometimes with things and people and situations and circumstances that are not going to end well. They're not good. Not good for us. Nothing nice is coming out of this. The fork in the road, you want to take that road of light, but you like playing with the dark. You like to skip. You just like to see. When we do that, it is our ego playing with fear, playing with fire, playing with naughtiness. Being naughty. It's Christmas. Am I going to be naughty or nice? I'm going to be naughty. And of course, there's going to be consequences. There always are. But sometimes we play, and sometimes that play gets really real and we can hurt ourselves, quite frankly, right? The karmic lessons. However, in and of itself, those experiences that lead maybe to the dark night of the soul or deep integration of, wow, I don't want to be that person anymore. I hurt people with my tongue. My behavior was callous or cold, or I was being like my family because that's how I was raised to be. That's not authentic. That's not who I am. That's not how I choose to be. So when you recognize that your ego's been at play in the 3D world, having a field day, doing all kinds of things, just clear the energy, pour love and light to yourself, show up for yourself, be there for yourself. Tip number 1 for today. Breathe light and life into the situation, reclaim your sovereignty, and come back to base. Who am I now? In this new unit of time, who am I now? How can I serve the highest good? How should I move through the world in the highest light, in reverence, in grace, with respect for myself and what I'm here to do? How can I serve my soul better with pure light intentions and service work that supports the highest good? Your ego structure, your lower mind, the games we play in the 3D world, they're never required, right? They're optional because we have free will, but they're not required. But your light, your life force, your soul mission, those commands that you get from base so that you can fulfill your assignments, those are required. Those are necessary. You matter and you help the human collective ascend and be better versions of themselves by your example as you shine your light so beautifully and bright. So these tips are designed to help the empath, stay focused, get back on track, clear the channel, when necessary. If we understand that we are part of this human experience where there are many games being played, the good, the bad, the ugly, we struggle with things, we feel connected, we feel disconnected, we have illusions to contend with, and sometimes in our ego we're a bit delusional. It's such an interesting ebb and flow, hills and valleys, right? But when you find yourself in the valleys of life or in the alleys of life, valleys and alleys, that's funny. Nowhere to go, seemingly nowhere to go. I'm stuck. I need help. Return back to base. Go back, get your command codes directly from the source. Reclaim your sovereignty. Remember who you are. And you can go back to base whenever you need, dear empath. So if you find yourself serving the collective and you burn out or you drain, you forgot to replenish your energy, just stop, clear the energy, ground by going back to base, anchor, get your command codes. What's my assignment now? And remember, sometimes your assignment is you. Sometimes your next assignment is reclaiming and refreshing, bringing the energy back into your own soul with love and light, with grace, with kindness, with self-respect, being there for yourself, not harsh, not judging. Be kind, be loving, be forgiving. What are my orders now? Pure heart structure. How can I realign? How can I recalibrate now? Show me the way. Clear, release, ground. Clear, release, ground. And in a new unit of time, you know that you can always get what you need. It's always available. And then you can go back to your mission assignments with clarity, with refreshed energy, with integrity, with alignment, with recalibration. So these are your tips, dear brothers and sisters of the Empath Collective, for this week. Merry Christmas. Wishing everybody peace, love, light. Be well. I'll see you again.